Folks, we're back. This is Steve Sanson, Jim Jones with Veterans in Politics. Today we have Katrin Ivanoff, a.k.a. Mrs. Fix-It, and she's going to be talking about urging Nevadans to get involved in politics. But before we get to our guest, Jim.
No, but I
Miss Fix-It.
want Nevadans to get involved in politics too. So we'll just turn it over to Miss Fix-It. So
tell us about you.
Yeah.
I come from a communist country, and this country is starting to look a lot like my country. That's what I escaped from, the empty shells, no choice, not daring to say what you want to say, from being worried that somebody's going to take your kids away or put you in jail without judge and jury or with fake evidence. It just... Does that sound familiar to people? This country is turning to that. And the main reason, I think, is because a lot of people got very comfortable with the status quo, and they were thinking, oh, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen. We have this law to protect us. We have that law to protect us. And they didn't realize why they were thinking all that. Even though we do have the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, nobody taught us, the immigrants or the new generation, either the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. So now what happened is we don't even know that the government has eroded the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, made bunch of laws that are in opposition of the Constitution or the Bill of Rights. And now they made presidents, and we following those laws instead of following the Constitution.
That's your bio?
No, that's not my bio, but it's better than a bio.
Okay, what's your bio?
Who cares about me? Let's fix this country.
Well, people like to know where the source is coming from. So what's your bio?
I was born in 1973.
Okay.
A grade student.
Okay.
And I despise politics, but I hate communism. And when I escaped to this country,
Any kids?
I wanted my kids to live in a free country. And this is the only country that was free. And now I see that my kids are not going to have that chance. So
2 kids or 1?
2 what? 2 kids. 1 girl, 1 boy.
Husband, boyfriend, girlfriend?
No. I have the best husband in the universe, who is born the same day as me, but he's 6 years younger. So every time
Same day as you, really?
Same day. So I say on my 6th birthday, God made me a present. He just waited a little bit longer to give it to me.
Gotcha.
So what I wanted to say is that one night I woke up, my YouTube was running, and I'm on Rumble now, but at the time was YouTube. Mm-hmm. And the quote that I saw, and I never Google Plato, the philosopher, or any other philosopher. So to me, that was God speaking. And the quote that I saw was, the price good men pay for indifference to public affairs is to be ruled by evil men. I only took a picture of it because I knew I'm not going to remember it the next day. And then the next day I Googled Plato, and it turned out that man was genius.
Okay, so let me be blunt.
Yes.
What's your specific reason for coming on the show?
My main reason is I want to encourage absolutely everybody. The price we pay for being indifferent in politics, right now we're paying the price. We've been indifferent in politics for so long, and that includes me. I just got involved in politics in 2022 because I went to a school board. No, they didn't even let me into the school board meeting. I went to a city council meeting. And because I wasn't aware of the Roberts rules, and I was asking a clarifying question, I was asking, can I ask a question after they said, anybody has question for the expert? So I translated it that I can have a question. They said anybody. However, I didn't want to break the rules because prior to that, I was heckling and I was given a warning that they'll kick me out, and I wanted to give my 2-minute speech on the record. So I was saying, can I ask a question? Can I ask a question?
What are we
Maybe 7 times. How I got involved in politics.
Oh,
how I woke
where
up.
were you?
I was
What
in
event?
a city council meeting.
Okay.
And then they called the cops on me, and the cops say, we're gonna arrest you. At that point, I was loud. Oh, it's in the RJ. You can see the picture. It's in the RJ, and it was on the news that evening.
What story is that?
When I woke up and realized we're living in communism, because
no, what story was in the RJ? What was the headline?
Oh, that somebody disturbed the meeting, and actually Katrin Ivanoff disturbed the meeting, and they have me. It looks like they're arresting me, but they're not arresting me. They did not arrest me because they had no reason to. Because I told them, if I wanted to really disturb the meeting, I asked 7 to 10 times, can I ask a question? That was a clarifying procedure question. I could have hurled at them 7 to 10 questions. And the cop said, yeah, that sounds logical. In any event, they did kick me out.
Miss Fix-It, you ran for office before, right?
Yes.
What office did you run for?
I ran for Assembly District 42. And I want to encourage everyone in their life to run at least one time for office. And when I say run for office, I don't mean only the ones that are giving you political power directly to change laws or to make rules like city council, school board, or assembly district, or Senate, or Washington. I also mean the local offices for CCRP, which is Clark County Republican Party, or whichever county you are, or Democrat, if you're a Democrat, or whatever you are. Just look for something and get active. And then they have positions that come for re-elections. We need choices. We cannot have the same people running over and over and doing old stuff. We need new blood. We need. You're
talking about recycled candidates? People. We can't keep having recycled candidates. That's what you're talking about?
Because if you are not happy with the status quo, the way it is, if you're not happy with the laws that are passed, if you're not happy with the school levels of the school, if you're not happy with the crime levels, if you're not happy with the economy, I blame both parties, Republican and Democrats. Everybody that is in office right now, or it has been in office for the last 50 years, is the reason that we are where we are.
Which party are you more familiar with?
I identify as the Republican Party better. There's some things I don't like there, but most of the things I do there.
Let's get into some of your likes and dislikes for the party. What are your feelings about the party keeps recycling candidates? They lose a race, then they put them in a higher race. And they lose that race, and they put them in another higher race. Like, say, somebody's running for state senate, and all of a sudden, they lost that race. And now they're running for Congress, and they lose their race. And now they're going to have them run for Senate, and they're going to lose that race. So how do you feel about the party just keep pushing candidates up because they feel like they might have a little bit of money, or they made a little bit of reputation, or they have some type of name ID, but they just keep losing races? How do you feel about the party just keep pushing people just so they could lose a race?
I'm going to say something that I said personally to Jesse Law, and which is my opinion, the chairman of the Republican Party.
What county?
Clark County.
Okay.
Sorry, thank you.
No
it is my opinion that someone is sabotaging our party from the inside out.
Well, you say that.
Somebody told him that I said that he was. I never mentioned a name because I don't even know who are the people involved with all the events of in and outs of the party. I'm sure there are very good people volunteering, but somebody else, there is a rotten apple in that bunch. I don't know which apple that is. But for example, there was a meeting called in Ahern on Saturday morning, the day after the right to file for to be an election representative was a Friday, 5 p.m. The next day, the meeting was called Turn Nevada Red. How are you going to turn Nevada red if you didn't put butt in the seats?
So the place was empty.
When people, there were a lot of people, but people start asking, what position can we apply for? You couldn't. The application process ended the day before. That kind of meeting should be called years in advance.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Based on what you just said, is it the responsibility, in your opinion, of the CCRP to do that? Or is it the responsibility of people who want to get involved in the party to first get involved at a grassroots level and learn those laws so they understand them before they get there?
It is responsibility to the CCRP and all kinds of levels of parties and groups to make that information easily available to people in order for people to be inspired to get involved.
Okay.
This is why I am here to inspire people.
Right. So let me follow up with that, though. So, yeah, okay, maybe it is the responsibility of the CCRP to make all that information available, but
not just
and I'm not going to speak for Steve on this. I'm going to speak for myself.
Yes.
I've been involved with the CCRP on and off since 2007. And here's been my experience. A lot of different chairmen have made all that information available that you're talking about that should be made available. But then what ends up happening is at these meetings, all these people come and they don't understand Robert's Rules of Order. They don't understand how these meetings are supposed to be conducted. So basically what they do is they end up interrupting the meeting so nothing gets done.
Okay.
So I think it's the responsibility of people who want to get involved with the party to understand the rules before they even get there.
We disagree here on that, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
If you are a person, especially Republicans, are busy to go to work, busy to try to take care of the family, to try to upbring their kids in a nice way. Right. I'm sure some Democrats do, but I'm familiar with Republicans, so I'm quoting for Republicans. So, however, it's not about just the information being available. I don't need the CCRP to give me that information. I can Google it or DuckDuckGo it or whatever I want. The information is out there. The job for the CCRP to me is to make it enticing for people to choose to do that versus other things. Because right now, we are given so many distractions in order for us to fight, in order for us not to fight for the right things, to fight each other for stupid things. Because Republicans and Democrats are fighting each other, but we have things that we have common points. For example, we may not all agree on school curriculum, but we all agree that we all want our kids to be safe at school. I would try to find some parent that says, I don't care if my kid is safe at school. They can be shooting, they can be fighting each other. I don't care what party you are. As a parent, you want to know you're sending your kids and your kid is safe. Not just from guns, but from bullying, from other things that they may happen there, even slip and fall, whatever it is. So instead of us arguing on curriculum, we should get together on the subject that we agree on. Once we communicate on things we agree on, we're going to get to know each other on a different level. Once we know each other, we're not going to look at each other as enemies. So once we move from 1, 2, 3 things that we agree on 100%, then we can move to things that we agree on 80%. Right. And talk. And the conversation is going to be completely different. Because last time when you guys had Jesse Law here, he didn't even mention my name, but he said, oh, God bless the person that went on Brian's show to think that she's going to promote the event for, the name escapes me.
You know, you keep bringing up the county chairman.
Yes.
I want to ask you.
Can I just finish my sentence? Yes. So I didn't go there to bash anybody. I went there to reach to Democrats and to reach to people that would never come to my page or listen to me or go to probably your show or any Republican show or where we're going to talk. I went to reach to them and to tell them exactly that. We have things that we agree on. Let's get together and fix those. Let's start with the things we agree on. Thank you.
Well, and I'm pretty sure Jesse Law probably agrees on that point. But you need to answer Steve's question because you keep bringing up Jesse Law.
Do you think that the county chairman is doing a good job?
No.
And why is that?
Because I again, listening in your interview, hold on 1 second, I have notes. He started in 2007. He said when he came to the party, everything was the party was pretty rough, and he knew what the problems are and how to solve it. So from 2007, I know you guys say he was only maybe a year chairman because of all the lawsuits and stuff, but from 2007 to 2022 is not a year. Yeah. He wasn't chairman, but he knew what needs to be fixed. Once you have the position, you should be able to start fixing.
If my memory serves me correctly, he was, I believe he was with the Libertarian Party back then.
He said he started here in 2006, 2007.
Okay. But why you don't believe he's doing a good job?
Because the results speak for themselves. We had an amazing people that run for office. They had never run for office. And I know at the end of the day, the buck stops with the candidate. It's true because I was one, and I'm not going to blame anybody for my faults. I learned a lot. If I decide to run again, I'm sure I'll do a lot better. However, when you had candidates like me, which was a lot of the candidates, even Jesse Law went on Kevin Walsh show and said that it's the first time, and Michael McDonald also said the same thing in another interview on the same show. It's the first time, I believe, ever to have candidates in every single seat.
Actually, that's not true, but go ahead.
Okay, that's what they said on the show. That's what I heard. That's why I haven't checked it. That's why I'm saying.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. I rather have accurate information out there than In any way, in a very, very long time, is the first time you had a person in every seat for Republicans, and a lot of those people had no clue about politics.
But if that's what he did, isn't that part of his job?
But that's not what he did. This is what Alita Benson did. Okay. And also other, my children's advocates, they were putting people in. If my children's advocates were not involved, we would not have a person in every seat, because I witnessed how they put one person that she was there to drive another person, not to. So the party should have helped those people that knew nothing about politics, that tried to do the right thing, but didn't know where to start, didn't know how to fundraise, didn't know how to make websites. Literally, some of the mama bears were learning how to do. My website was done for free from one of the mama bears when she was learning how to do things. So my
mama bears?
My children's advocates and candidates for freedom.
So why do you think Jesse Law is not doing a good job as county chairman?
Because of the results. We had a prime thing for the picking. We should have swept everything. And I know they're saying,
but how
we have the governor's office.
How is it up to him? Shouldn't the candidates that are running for those seats, like yourself?
I just explained. Those were very, very new candidates, very good people with good intention. They didn't know anything about politics, didn't know anything
why are they
about
running?
Because they're sick and tired of the criminals that are making the laws right now. You want to hear some of the bills?
So hold on. Before we get to
let's finish.
So you're saying it's a chairman's fault why these candidates didn't win their races?
It's not only his fault. It's ultimately the candidate's fault. At the end of the day, as a candidate, I would say I did things wrong. But the reason I did things wrong is because I never wanted to run for office, so I didn't prepare for that. What happened was I went to Chuck Moots class, and again, I don't know how I ended up in that class. I just got sent me there.
You took the wrong turn somewhere?
No, someone told me to go there, but I don't remember who. So I went to the class because I wanted to volunteer and do door knocking for the candidates. That was going to be my contribution.
Okay.
And in week 3 or 4, Chuck says, oh, Democrats got supermajority because there were 13 seats that they won because there was no challenger.
I want to stay on Jesse Law for a minute.
Yeah, just 1 second to explain.
But every time
that.
I try to stay on
No,
him,
we're
we're going somewhere else.
But when he, trust me, I have 4 pages. We can go on Jesse Law in a second.
We need to kind of move this along. We need to stay on Jesse Law.
But the point is, I didn't go there to be a political candidate. I went there to knock doors, and when somebody opened the door, I wanted to know how to say, what to say to help the candidate, because I never deal with politics. When I see, 13 places, nobody challenged, I see the need, I said, okay, if need be, I'm going to run. However, they should have taken people like me. They had best intentions and help us and guide us through this process. Chances of us winning, slim to none. But at least we would have learned a lot more. At least we would have felt supported by the party, because many of the candidates did not feel supported by the party.
But I guess that's why candidates have campaign managers to get them through the election.
If you have the money for campaign managers.
But then if you don't have the money, then you shouldn't be running, because it takes money. And if you can't raise money, you shouldn't be running, right?
This was not a thing that I knew at
But
the
I want to
time.
know why is it that you believe it's, you haven't even answered my question about why do you believe the chairman of the county party is not doing his job?
How am I not answering? He did not support the candidates
How
that
is he
needed
not supporting the candidates? Do you know if all these candidates even came to him? I mean, do you know and if they did come to him, do you know what they came to him for?
Do you know how much the candidates got financial support from the CCRP? They keep talking about wanting to help the candidates.
Have you ever been chairman of the party?
No,
Okay.
I just started dealing with politics last year.
Have you ever been elected to the executive board position of the party? You got the Central Committee Executive Board.
About the position.
Okay,
about the party.
Both Jim and I sat on the executive board for the party years ago.
Yeah.
I mean, to understand how the party works, and you have to be involved in the party, not be a volunteer on the outside and help a candidate here and there. I mean, be involved in the Central Committee, sit on the executive board. Have you ever done that?
No, and
Okay.
I doubt anybody gonna let me do that after this interview.
Well, the party is who votes you in. You know, you put your name on the ballot and the party votes you, and it has nothing to do with the chairman.
Oh, okay.
But
then maybe I have a chance.
I mean, they always ask people what district you live in, what county district you live in. We have an open seat. I hear them say that all the time. But besides, you believe that it's the chairman's responsibility to hand walk each candidate in. And how many?
Nope.
And let me ask you something.
I don't believe that.
Let me ask you something. In the primary election alone, how many Republicans you think was running for every seat in the last election?
It wasn't 2 in every seat.
How many Republicans you believe was running in
I don't know, because
Okay,
I was busy
all right.
running my election.
Okay,
I
so-
was my own campaign manager. I was my own
So,
everything.
So don't you think it's premature for you to blame the county chairman because of the actions of a candidate, or the lack of actions of a candidate?
I'm not blaming him for that.
I ran before. I mean, I ran 5 times. Jim ran once, and not once have I ever blamed anybody.
I'm not blaming him for that. Can we
all
clear
right,
what I'm
okay.
blaming him for?
What are you blaming him for? Because he didn't hand walk candidates through?
He didn't help a bunch of candidates that didn't know what
Okay.
to do.
Since you're bringing that allegation up that he didn't help candidates, name the candidates that he didn't help. Because I like to face my accusers, right?
Me?
He didn't help you.
Nope.
You're
party?
the only one.
No, I'm not the only one.
All right,
I
who
don't
else?
know. I don't know if I did ask other people.
Right.
I don't know if I have permission to use their names.
Well,
but
if you're making a statement like that,
I am making a statement. Some of the people got $8 and 40 some cents. That was the contribution by the CCRP to their campaign.
Well,
and some of the people got nothing.
With all, in all honesty,
yes,
the county party don't really give anything to any candidates in the primary election. They wait till the general election before they really get involved because they don't.
That was in the general.
Okay, so you're saying he didn't give you money?
No, because it was primary for me. It's not about.
So you didn't win your primary.
For me is about helping the candidates who are baby politicians.
Okay. So you lost.
It should have been handled differently than other years.
So you sound a little biased to me. Anyways,
I am.
You lost your primary election.
I did.
You never made it in the general election.
Correct.
Okay, so he's not going to help you because you're in the primary.
He didn't help my opponent either.
Okay, how do you know that?
Because I talked to my opponent.
How do you know they're telling you the truth?
Why would they lie to me? I was helping them.
But there are so many candidates. The party can't help everybody.
I understand that.
All right, let me ask you something. Have you ever donated to the party?
No.
Okay. Well, that's the main thing because the party needs funding. So if the populace that are part of the Republican Party don't donate to the party. I wasn't
part of the Republican Party. I wasn't part of anything.
So
basically what I'm saying, if the populace that show up to these meetings, right?
I wasn't going to the meetings.
Okay.
I didn't even know the meeting existed.
Okay, but you're making a strong claim that this guy, the chairman, don't support candidates, but yet you're telling me that you really don't know what's going on.
No, I know what's going on. This 2022 election, it was prime for picking, and he had finally some candidates, but those candidates didn't know what to do, and they weren't helped. I went through that.
Okay. You know what? Maybe the candidates need to know about the position, need to know what to do before they put their name on the ballot. There's a lot.
Were just asked to do it because there was nobody else running.
Well, that's their problem. They should have educated themselves on the office that they're running for and educated themselves how to get money. There's a lot of people before they run for office, they know the party. They know the party. And I always have problems with people that just show up and want you to vote for them. Didn't put any sweat, didn't put any blood, didn't get their hands dirty in the party, didn't help build it, didn't help create it, didn't help fix it, didn't run for no party seats. And all of a sudden, here I am, I'm running for Assembly District number 2.
No,
vote for me. What the hell is that? I'm not talking about.
No,
I'm not talking about you, General. I'm just
because it sounds like me,
Miss Fix, and I do like. That's a catchy AKA name you have. I do like it.
God gave it.
But God gave it to you.
Yep.
Okay. God gave you that name.
Yep.
Did he? I don't even want to get into it. But you can't.
I'll tell you later.
You can't attack a man's character.
It's not a character. No.
Because
I don't know his character.
Okay.
I'm saying is a chairperson. I'm not happy with his job. I could be wrong. This is what I think.
Okay. Are you going to run for this seat?
No.
Well, maybe you should go run for it. Because if you're going to come down here and swing bats all
okay, I am a very polarizing person. People either love me or hate me. I don't think I'm going to be neither. The same thing I think about Jesse Law. People either love him or hate him. He's not a uniter. However, there are people that are uniters like Sherelle Mendenhall. I hope she can run. Whoever is listening, text Sherelle, Instagram Sherelle, ask her to run for that seat. She would be amazing in that seat. She would unite us and she would fix a lot of things. And another person that I can think of is John Patrick. Again, they have not told me to say that. I'm urging people to ask them to run.
So now you're trying to recruit people to run against Jesse Law.
Okay, so
I'm trying to recruit uniters because I want this party to be united. If we put the egos aside and see what's good for the party, we should put new blood that it can unite us.
Have you ever sat down with Law and go to lunch or go to dinner or have a coffee and say how could we fix this party and put your viewpoints on the table and say, look, this is what I think should happen and exchange ideas? Have you ever done that?
No, I see them.
So you just go attack.
I have talked to him. The things that I said to you, I mentioned to him that I think the party is sabotaged from inside in. This is something I mentioned to him.
On what proof? What proof do you have that
I just mentioned the proof. They organize a meeting after nothing can be done. There are other
And you think that's a sabotage of the party?
And how is it not?
Okay. So let me just pause for a second. So just to kind of educate you a little bit on this, and I don't mean that to be condescending at all.
No.
What I'm trying to say is since I got involved late in 2007 and then really got involved in 2008 when I ran for the assembly, and then even more so in 2010, and please don't bring up that embarrassing moment that we all know about.
Yeah, Jim ran for county chairman.
So,
nice. You want to run for county chairman this time?
No. I don't want to make that comment right now. So basically, here's the thing. What you're saying, I'm not saying is not true. Okay. That's your perception, and perception is your reality. But Steve and I, and Steve longer than I, this has been going on for a number of years. Everybody always says the CCRP chairman is doing a terrible job. They're crooked. They're not doing the meetings right. They're doing everything that you just said is something that I've heard probably 15 times in the last 15 years.
I think if Sherelle is elected, you're not going to hear that.
Yeah, well, okay. I thought when Cindy Lake got elected county party chair, I wouldn't hear that either. And once she did, I heard it again.
Maybe you need to.
And then when Bernie Zadrowski gets elected,
have so many times in a day. I also go to work for almost full time.
Well, if that's the case, if you don't have many hours in a day, and you can't familiarize yourself with the history of the Clark County Republican Party for the past 20 years. How do you come on a live program and make accusations like that?
Because I was living and breathing politics in the last 3 years. I run, and I'm talking from my experience and not just mine, because after my race was over, I turned around and started helping my opponent, start helping anybody else that won primary that I believed in.
Are you familiar with the policy and bylaws of the county party regarding candidates?
Not sure about.
Do you know that it's the candidate's responsibility to get funds, not the party's responsibility?
Absolutely, we're not arguing about that. I absolutely agree with that. However, we have a different. Just for 2022, we have a different situation.
The only thing that the party should help a candidate, not saying should, but the only thing that the party is able to help candidates with is walk lists. And if the candidate don't approach somebody that could get them that walk list, the party's not going to automatically give it to them.
I understand that.
And the candidates don't even have to go to the party to get the walk list. They could go to the Clark County Electoral and get the walk list.
I paid $100 for the battle-born education from the party that I was told to get a branding. I did Mrs. Fix-It. Now, that's not allowed to be put on any of the name tags. Yeah. Then they were saying how good... I forgot what they call the walk list, that they have super good database and information. But when I went to get the walk list, they gave me the one that I could have just gone and get it from the electoral county.
Have you gone to the...
Which was not correct, by the way.
Have you gone to the county chairman and say, hey, let me help you with your meetings?
Nope.
No. Have you went to the chairman? I mean, the venue got
Ask me
canceled.
why.
The venue got canceled.
Oh, by the way, I
Hold
have
on.
inside information that the venue got canceled more than a week ago, and he didn't say that to people.
Well,
that is allegedly.
Well, the venue got canceled. Did you call him up and say, hey, let's brainstorm to find another venue?
You know very well when I found out that the venue was canceled. When did I find out the venue was canceled?
Yesterday.
From who?
Me.
Exactly. I had no clue it was canceled.
You didn't get an email?
I was at work.
But the email was sent. So
it was sent, but I gotta work. Okay. When I'm at work, I'm not checking my phone.
So you sound like
you sound like somebody that's trying to keep their job
the chairman's
in the middle of everything.
The chairman's supposed to call you up and tell you.
No, but you are blaming me why I didn't call to help. I didn't even know it was happening. How am I going to call to help?
Hold on. Steve is not blaming you. Steve is asking. No, hold on. No, Steve's asking you the same questions that he asked me when I call him up and complain about something. He's like, did you do this? Did you do that? Did you do this? Prior to complaining.
Due to time constraint, I have not done that.
All right, so whose fault is that?
Whose fault is what? The venue canceling?
No, whose fault that you don't have time to do any of this?
But that's why I'm probably not running. That's why I'm trying to help other people. Plus,
whose fault is it? Is it the chairman's fault or is it your fault?
It's not his fault, not my fault. Everybody's trying to do their best.
Let me try to get this straight in my head.
I'm sure he's trying to do his best. Just his best.
You do understand this is a volunteer position.
Yes.
You get that, right?
So does mine.
You get that he's working for free.
Everybody is working for free.
No, being a chairman is a part-time job.
Okay.
Do you work part-time for free?
Yeah.
Doing what?
All this
because that's what you want to do. Right?
And he doesn't want to do it?
Of course he wants to do that, but he's elected to do that. He's elected to do that. You're not elected to do whatever you do.
Exactly.
Right?
So what I'm doing is even more volunteer because I'm not forced to do it, but by being elected, because once you're elected, you have to do certain things. I don't have to do any of that, and I'm still doing it. And I did listen to him saying that he spends 5 hours a week on election week. On your interview, he said you asked him how much time you spend on election week on primaries. He said 5 hours a week. Let me tell you, the ones that we were volunteering, my children's advocates, the candidates for freedom, all the mama bears was spending 10 to 15 hours a day. We had organized one mom is watching the kids. Another ones are stuffing all different kinds of ballots all day long.
Ms. Fixer, how long you been with the party?
Since last year.
Since last year. How long you been with the party?
Actively. I've been voting Republican before. I have not been I don't consider that being with the party. I didn't know anything about the party. I didn't know anything about how things are done.
You know what?
I just got involved because I woke up on Plato's quote.
Maybe you should do your research first.
We don't have time. Communism is here. We lose 2024. We're done.
Well, if you don't do your research, then you're talking out of your ass.
I'm not talking out of my ass. I'm talking out of his own words. His own words. He spent 5 hours prior on election week in this position when we also didn't get paid. And okay, I was a candidate. I should be spending 20 hours, whatever hours a day. But the other moms, they weren't candidates and they were helping 10, 20 candidates at the time. They spent 10, 15 hours a day. Nobody got paid. Nobody got acknowledged. Nobody did anything. Everybody did it because we're trying to save our country and we're trying to save our kids. So excuse me that I don't have time to get familiarized with 20 years of CCRP history. I don't have that time. We don't have that time. We have to fight for our kids. We have to fight for the Constitution. We have to fight for our freedom, for our rights. No time for history lessons. Let's get someone that can unite the party. It's not me. I am
okay.
And you don't think he's a uniter?
No, he was unable to unite us.
Do you know when before he became chair, the party wasn't even united?
It's
Do you know that?
still not united. That's the problem.
Do
How
you
can
know?
you
Do
unite
you know
the
that there
party?
was
How
almost
can
a
you
riot
say-
outside one of those high schools when they wouldn't let
I was
people
there.
in?
That was the day that I almost got arrested.
So-
From there, I went
so-
there. That
so-
was the first day I
okay.
met him, and I said that I'll join the party if he wins.
And he wasn't chairman back then. So what?
No,
I mean,
and I
he-
was very supportive of him.
since he's been the chairman, the party is more united than it was back then. So why are you bashing the man?
More united is
Okay.
not united
Then
enough
you know what?
because I
Then-
know
look,
a lot
look,
of people
look,
that
if-
don't want to get involved with the party because of him.
If you believe that this man is doing such a fucked up job, why don't you fucking do it?
Because I'm gonna
No.
do the
You
same
know what?
job,
I
because
hate.
people-
I hate.
just said
I hate
I
when people
just
come
said the
and they throw bullshit against the wall like
It's
a
not
fucking
a
lawyer.
bullshit.
They throw
It's
bullshit
facts.
against the wall, see what sticks. That's exactly what you're doing. You really don't know the history of the party. You really don't know the bylaws. You haven't
No.
even been engaged. You
But I
haven't
listened
sat.
to
You
his
have not
interview
sat.
right
You
here in
have
this
not
chair.
sat on the executive board. You have not did any of those things.
No.
But yet you want to throw this man under the bus. Before he became chairman, the party was fucked up.
it's still fucked up. That's
Okay,
the
he made
problem.
it better.
Better, but not good enough. We don't have the
Oh,
time.
so then if you believe that he's doing such a fucked up job, why don't you do it? Why don't you
Because I
volunteer
don't
your time? Why
I
don't
am
you volunteer? No,
I'm
as a
volunteering
chairman,
my
as a
time
chairwoman, why don't
to
you
have what
volunteer
I
your
can.
Why don't you do it? Why
Because
don't
I
you do
don't-
it? Then
because I
you
know
can't.
my-
You shouldn't be bashing this man.
Why not? Because
You shouldn't
I'm
be
not
ba-
as good
because
for
you're-
a chairman.
why don't
I
you
have
do it?
I have other qualities
look.
for other things. There are people
Look,
way better qualified than me
Katrina,
for that job.
you have one excuse after another, after
No,
another, after
no,
another,
because
after
I am
another,
healthy.
and you talk about unite. Instead of you sit
Yes.
down with the man and say your differences, you rather come and bash him and talk shit about him and tell him that he's not doing a damn good
not
job.
shit.
But you have
Those
no
are
fucking
his
solution
words.
to it because
I
you don't
have a
even
solution.
want to run with the gavel and fucking take it.
I
You
have
don't
a
want to run with the
solution.
gavel and take it.
No,
Because
you're not
you
listening
stuffed
to
some
me.
envelopes for some candidates. You think that's fucking good enough?
No.
You don't even know the inner
I
workings
have
of
a
the party.
solution. We
You
pick a person
look,
that unites people,
look.
like Shereen Mendenhall or John Patrick
Okay.
or some of the other good people.
Unite
There is a
people?
solution. I am not a uniter. People either love me or hate me. It's
all right,
gonna be the
I'm
same
done.
thing.
I'm done. I'm
Why?
done. I'm done.
I
I'm
had
done.
a few other things to mention.
I am done. I'm done.
Why are you done?
Because you're not making any sense. You're totally biased. You have not said.
Everybody's
No,
biased. You
stop.
biased
Stop. Stop.
Wow.
You have not sat down with him and discussed any of this.
I did
But you
talk to
come on a
him.
live show and bash his character,
Not his
saying
character.
that he's not
I
a
never
uniter.
said
You
anything
saying that he's
about
not a
his
uniter.
character.
You're over here trying to recruit other people to take his place, but you yourself don't even want to do it.
Because I'll do the same job he's doing. What's the point?
I'm done.
If people are watching. If people want
Jim,
me to
I'm
run,
done.
let me tell me.
I'm
I
done.
will run. If people want me to do it, I
I'm
will
done.
do it.
I'm done. You
Why
have
are
anything
you
else?
done?
All right. So just in closing.
And you change what I'm saying like 100 times.
No, I'm done.
No.
I'm done. I'm done.
Yeah.
Because I hate when people come on a live program and talk crap about somebody, but have no damn solutions for it. Don't even want to do it themselves.
And
and
you
you're-
keep saying
and you're
that there's no
biased.
solution.
You're biased.
You
even
know
say you're
everybody's
biased.
Everybody's biased.
Look,
Okay. All right.
look,
Pause.
the man. Look, I've known the man for a very long time.
I understand that. I don't
And
know the man.
and you
I'm
know
not
what?
attacking his character.
And before
you said I
and
was
bef-
attacking his character.
and-
No, I'm attacking
and
his
look, listen to me.
capabilities
Listen
as
to
chairman.
me. Before he came on board, this party was in chaos. Why don't you talk about the good he has done? Because he has mended this party better than how it was before he came on board. Why don't you talk about that?
Because
But
I
instead,
didn't
you
hear
don't.
About that.
Instead,
I
you don't. Of
listened to
course you
his
don't. You just
interview.
want to talk shit about him.
Not true. I listened to his interview here on this program, and from this interview, what I heard is what I know. I don't know the party before that. I
Okay.
don't know the party after that. I know that people don't want to
You
join
say
the
you
party.
say you have no
because of
time
him.
to do this. You have no time to do that. But yet you have time to talk shit about him.
It's not
Amazing
about
how
him.
that works.
It's about the job he does. Two different things.
Well,
Two very different things.
For what it's worth, I like the job he's doing.
Okay.
And I think he should stay
We
there.
can agree. Beautiful. Then you vote for him.
I will. Jim,
Nothing wrong with that.
you have anything?
Yeah. On that, I think one of the things that, for me, consistency is important. And I'm just going to do it this way. One of the things that always frustrates me, and I'm a huge sports fan, is when every single time it seems like something's not going the right way with a football team, they want to change coaches constantly. And so I wasn't trying to be rude and trying to lecture you on the history of the party, but
I don't think you were.
But Steve and I have went through this before, and it seems like every time there's a new chairman, immediately somebody wants to get another new chairman. And we've been through so many chairmen, okay? And we just fixed the CCRP by finding another chairman. When I was running somebody else's campaign, I called Jesse Law up, sat down, we had coffee, we went over stuff, and I thought he was very open and honest. So I'm just saying that, candidates in particular need to do their research before they even run for office. And I'm saying this personally because as someone who ran for the assembly, I learned that the hard way because
I did.
I too got recruited to run because I showed up at a state Senate Central Committee, and somebody came over and said, "Oh, you sound smart here," and signed me up to run, and I had no idea. So I'm just saying that preparation is very important. So I don't like when people just automatically bash the party when they need to start doing their own research.
Definitely.
Beforehand.
Both needs to happen. But I want to say that in his interview here, he did mention that when he started this thing, joining the party, people were thrown out of the party. As soon as he became chairman, he threw a bunch of people out too. So he did the same thing that he witnessed when he joined in. And those are his words, not mine.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just, I think the conversation about whether, obviously you don't think Jesse's doing a good job. Obviously, Steve and I do. So we'll just have to.
But I do want to make clear that I have nothing against Jesse as a person.
Okay.
I don't know him well enough to either have something against him or not have something against him.
Right.
As a person, he may be the best person, the best friend. Yeah. That is nothing personal. What I'm saying here is what I heard him say on this interview, what I learned from him on his interview here. And that has nothing to do with him as a person.
Okay.
So I want to make that clear because Steve keeps saying, "Oh, you bashing him, his character." No, I don't know his character. I'm trying to figure out the job he's done, and I'm learning from you that he has done. I'm sure he has done some good things. What I'm saying is, with the environment we had in 2022, it should have been way, way better. Way better.
Okay. Well, fair enough.
So you came through one election, and all of a sudden you know everything.
No, I don't.
Okay.
I am learning. That's why I'm not going to a second
Been here
election.
1 year, one election, and you know everything.
Why
Okay.
switching things and you're saying things that are not true? The reason
That's what you just said.
No, I didn't. This is what you said. You've
been here for 1 year, right?
Yes.
True or not?
Yes.
You've seen one election go with one county chairman, right? True or not?
Yes.
True or not? Okay. And with that, you have a perception how it's supposed to go, and you're done.
No,
correct?
I don't. That's why I'm not running for his position.
Look.
If I know how to fix it, then I'll run for his position.
Well, let me tell you something.
But you're twisting my words.
I have been with the party for over 20 years.
I wish I was.
I have been with the party for over 20 years. I have ran 5 times, 5 different races. Not once did I blame any county chairman for helping me or not helping me. Okay?
Okay.
And I have sat on the executive board for almost what? 4, 5, almost 6 years.
Yeah, it was about 6, yeah.
With different chairmen. And I'm telling you that Jesse Law is a stand-up guy. He speaks from the heart. And if you was to sit down and talk to him like a human being instead of passing moments and talk to him without being in the venue of a county party, maybe at a Dutch Brothers or somewhere else outside of the venue of a county party, maybe you would get a lot more done. But you come on a live show.
Not a bad idea.
You come on a live show and you bash him. And that's the thing I have.
I'm not bashing him. I'm bashing his results.
Which is part of him. And that's the problem I have. Okay? Now, if I was you, I would go through a few more chairmen. Okay? I would be a part of the executive board.
I would try.
Okay? And I would stop saying, well, I am too busy. You're not too busy to come on here and talk shit about him. But you're too busy.
It's the fact.
But you're too busy to find out the history of the party. You see how that works? Okay? It's selective, and that's what you have. You're very selective.
You are selective too.
No. Well, I got longevity. That's the difference between you and I.
Selective.
I have longevity. Well, when you have longevity, you can be a little selective, but you have no longevity. You have no skin in the game. You haven't put your time in.
I don't have skin in the game.
You haven't put your time in.
There is a difference between putting time and skin in the game.
Because
my kid's future is at stake. I have the biggest skin in the game.
I'm not talking about elections on a whole. I'm talking about a private political party right now. Okay.
Yeah, but that is connected to elections. How is that not connected to elections?
You know what? What happens with the school board has more to do than just the Republican Party. Democrats, IAPs, Libertarians, they all involved, and people that don't belong to no party. They're all involved. That's why the school district is the way it is.
That's why I'm trying to reach people to tell everybody. Start learning politics. Start getting involved. That's the main message I want to send. Not even the Jesse Law message, not even other messages. The main message out there. Everybody, regardless of party or no party, start getting involved. If you're going to want to fix the country, you can't just complain and do nothing. Start getting involved.
Then stop complaining then.
I'm not complaining.
Okay. Have anything?
I want to mention one more thing.
Hold on. Thank you for coming on the show.
Okay. I do have one thing. Not a question. Not one of my famous one last question lines. Mm-hmm. I want to thank Stephanie Phillips, who is one of our sponsors. She's running for U.S. Senate, so I want to thank her. I also want to thank Ron Quince, who's running for CD1. I want to thank him for sponsoring the show. So I want to make sure we thank our sponsors.
Okay. Mark is going to zoom in on you.
Yes.
And here's your final words.
Okay, final words. Everybody, please get involved. If you don't have the time, I totally understand because I don't have time for everything. Then find someone you trust. For example, I will be making, regardless if I'm going to run or not, because so far God is telling me not to run. I'm not ready to run. I need to learn a lot more in order to run. I will be making Mrs. Fixed approved list on primaries that I will be suggesting the people that I believe that should win. And I'm not watching if they got enough money in the bank, if they did a bunch of things I'm not trying to guess who's going to win so I have good record and people that I pick that are winning. I don't care about that. I care about the candidates that I'm going to propose on that list are candidates that should be there, that should help us protect our Constitution, Bill of Rights. And honestly, I don't care for the party because I did support Mindy Robinson because I thought she was the best person for the job and she's not a Republican. If you're the best person for the job, I will support you. Also, I wanted to mention my phone number is 702-722-7225. Once again, 702-722-7225. I'm really bad with social media. I need all the help I can get. If anybody can help me, teach me, please text me. I don't listen to my voicemail. Don't have the time. Text me. I will text back. We don't know what's going on in Carson City. The assembly, Senate, the assembly people are busy in the assembly and in the Senate proposing bills that would really, really change the way of life. For example, Assembly Bill 231 will pave the way for federal government digital currency and social credit scores. Assembly Bill 237 will open schools for any persons, which means adults, illegals, criminals, pedophiles, to get healthcare services in school-based healthcare centers. I hope you understand what I'm saying. This is very dangerous for our kids. We have to call, email, and oppose these bills. Senate Bill 172 will lower the age of consent of minors for treatment of sexually transmitted diseases. Any adult that can put together in one sentence the word minor and consent, something's wrong with them. Please email, call, oppose this bill. Another Senate Bill 163 provides for Medicaid coverage of affirmative treatment for gender dysphoria, with very unclear language for school-based healthcare centers. Again, the same school-based thing. Another really, really scary one, SJR 7, is aiming of changing the abortion law, which is constitutional right now, allow up to 6 months. They want to make it allow up to 9 months, no questions asked. 9 months. I don't know where you come from, but that's a life, kid. That's a killing directly. The way you can get involved, you go to https://www.leg.state.nv.us/. There you click on Nellis, all capital, NELIS. You have to register the first time in order to be able to use the system. After that, you'll be able to click on any of the assembly bills, Senate bills, the rulings or SJ, whatever. You can click on any of them and see. Also, if you want to know more, please text me. I can send you emails where you can just click and put your opinion. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were able, by a lot of people organizing and opposing the Homeless Bill of Rights, we were able to stop it, and it didn't even go into hearing, because that bill would have allowed any homeless person to pitch a tent on any public property. If you don't understand what that means, the street in front of your house is a public property. So they can just pitch a tent next to your house, and there was nothing you can do about it, and they would have been allowed to sue you if you say anything. So there is a lot of bad bills. There are some good bills as well. Please contact me, 702-722-7225. Text me. You can text me your email. I will give you information. It's just click of a link. It's made so much easier than before to contact those representatives that are trying to make laws that make no sense, and also to support them for the ones that do make sense. And I also want to mention that Jesse Law said that on this chair that he was repulsed by the thought of turning off the cameras. However, he went against his belief to appease someone else. So I don't see that as a good character. I support the whole Constitution. If you're a Republican and you say you support the Constitution, how are you going to turn and shoot the messenger and say nothing about the person that did the message? How are you going to do that?
Did you say Mindy Robinson is not a Republican?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
want to make sure I heard that correctly.
Yeah, she's
right.
a libertarian.
Okay. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate your time. Sorry that I got your blood boiled.
No worries.
But
No worries.
it is what it is. Please get involved in politics on every single level. Again, if you don't know what to do, find someone you trust and listen to their advice.
Folks, this is Steve Sanderson, Jim Jones for Veterans in Politics. Until next time.